once a month is similar to the boost you'd get from earning an extra $50,000 a year.
Ooh.
Agree? Everybody's scanning their brains. Like, everybody going,
I'd agree.
Once a week? It's 50 grand once a week, 50 grand. What do you think?
I'm not a prostitute, but I'd say it's about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get behind my head an extra 50 grand.
Because I'm really evaluating this going, I'm thinking it's going to take 2 to 3 to reach that extra 50 grand. Not 50 grand as a base. I'm talking 50 grand on top.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little.
Pretty good sex.
Yeah. It's going to take a little more than once a week for me.
If you're only those endorphins kicking, then give me the 50,000 and more sex.
Exactly. Which, if you have that extra 50,000, there's lots of ways to make sure you get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Multiple positions.
See? Yeah. Just think of the chum gifts you could buy with that. The kind of the way that they wrap this up, and then they brought it back to like more, realistic realm. They were saying the overall implication of the surveys compiled from both Switzerland and Canada is that more sex leads to more happiness because it promotes affection.
Right.
And they're saying, these findings could help some couples at times when sex isn't possible for any number of reasons and life gets in the way, as we all know.
Right.
That making the effort to be affectionate could also be beneficial for well-being and, not completely replace, but certainly mitigate the ill effects from the lower sex rate.
Okay.
What do you think?
Right.
God, you guys are thinking so hard. Both of you.
You just threw a lot at us there.
I'm sorry.
I hear sex, blah, 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 sex, blah, 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 sex.
I forgot I've got men in the room. I have to approach this whole thing differently.
Totally differently.
With Colleen not here. Okay, Kelly.
So you want to talk about sex?
Yeah.
Right.
That's all I got out of that. It's like sex.
My balls. Oh, by the way, did you know I have balls? Look at my balls. Oh, I like my balls.
But
I need to move my balls. Oh, God, you guys. Funny. All right. This is kind of a survey in the room. I found something about an article alleging the 5 best quickies.
Oh,
And I want to see if you guys agree with this. And I am going to... There's a couple of these that I know what Colleen would say, so I'm going to weigh in on her behalf on these because she's not here. We miss her. Okay, the first one, a shower quickie.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Guys love it. Yes. Colleen is not a fan of the sex in the water because any lubrication that you might either artificially or naturally create gets washed away.
That's where he suggests either a hybrid lube or a silicone lube. It's harder to clean up, but it stays slick through the whole time. And it can be a little dangerous in the showers too. So
why? Because you can slip on it?
You slip on it. So definitely get your grips. Oh, I've made that mistake. It's like, I'm more based on a hybrid now. It still stays slick where you need it, but then it does wash down the drain a little easier than straight silicone.
Say exactly what that is again, because
hybrid is it's a mixture between water-based and silicone lube. So a lot of the companies say that you can use that on toys, but we still don't recommend it because any part of silicone in will still wreck your toys. But if it's just for like little play in the shower or anything, a little anal sex or anywhere to keep you moist, I would always suggest that.
Can you name off a couple brands that people could find at Fantasy Gifts?
Off the top, our number one is, and I'm blanking in it.
Because I put you on the spot.
We do have a Wicked line that's really good, and I think we have a hybrid in that one too. But otherwise, our other name one is, and I can see the logo.
Okay, well, just ask for it. Is the point. Ask for the best hybrid.
Try it hybrid,
Okay.
I really like that for any kind of, toy. I do it, if I do with it with the toy, then I do a non-silicone toy because you can't use silicone with a silicone toy because it starts wrecking your toy.
Okay.
It kind of melts it and stuff. So you don't want to use silicone on silicone. But if you have a nice jelly toy that you like, suction to the wall in the shower and puts a little hybrid on there, it does not dry up.
Really?
Yeah, but definitely be careful and make sure you have a good stance because shower sex can be a little dangerous.
And it's all fun and games until somebody has to go to the ER.
And now I have glass shower doors, so it's even worse. Oh, no. It was better when you just fell through a curtain.
Onto the tile.
Right.
But at least the curtain sort of broke the fall a little bit.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Now you're
Maybe what you do is put some handicap bars in there.
That is a good idea.
Oh, my God. Only now they got to make them more artsy looking. Right? You know what I mean? Can't those things be made a little
Well,
more
they do
attractive?
have some
Come
section
on,
of
man.
shower kits and where it's a suction cup and you got like a little footrest. And a lot of ladies like that because they can shave their legs. You just suction, it's a footrest. You can shave your
nice.
legs.
Oh, that's
and stuff.
cool.
And you have little handrails too. But I wouldn't support all my weight. It's just more or less to keep your balance. So they do have it's called Section Shower. And I think one of our websites might carry that as well.
Nice.
So, but
Wow.
definitely search that out. They do have some things to make shower sex a little more safer.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to say that even though Colleen would dissent, that the room likes that, especially using a hybrid lube. Okay, a good morning quickie. And now I'm going to make a prediction here because guys wake up with wood.
Right.
Mr. Camp Hardwood. And I happen to know that Carl is a big fan of these. What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I like it. The mornings.
That's the
Yes.
best way to start the day.
So far, so good on the list. A lot of times these lists, we just shred them to pieces because we think they're stupid. So far, so good.
But no, that's so good, especially for guys, because you do have that morning wood and everything. It's
Yeah, well, it's better
I
than
start my day off great.
Good.
what every man should have
morning.
before breakfast.
Exactly.
See? This one's kind of like, I don't know, sit on him and indulge in an unexpected quickie. So it says, is he watching the game, watching something? Just climb on and just basically go for it.
Yeah.
Don't do it when you're driving.
No, that's not the best. That's reserved for blowjobs.
You know what? I know somebody who got pulled over in a blowjob situation on the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't do it on a bridge.
Right?
It's dangerous.
You think? But what cracks me up is that in San Francisco, they didn't just go, oh, okay. Because, really? It's San Francisco.
Right.
Okay. Sneaking out and having sex in the bathroom. So, like, if you're at a boring cocktail party.
Oh, I've done that a few times.
And so, how would you rate it on the best top 5 quickie scale?
I think it's fun. I think it's
Michael,
entertaining,
thoughts?
yes.
I don't think I've ever had the courage enough to do that. Because, I'd have to keep my composure. Because the only thing I'm thinking of top of my head is like the opera or something, because that's the only places I've ever gone as like an event like that. But
You just
we're
take a hand
talking
towel,
about
put it
What
over
about a
the-
house party?
no, because I don't want to.
Hoo-ha.
No, that's disrespecting somebody else's house. I just
Michael, you're
too
so
sweet.
defiling a bathroom.
Yes, I don't want to defile their bathroom.
And Benjamin, what they've done in yours.
No!
Exactly. That's why I stopped having house parties.
Michael thinks of everything.
I try.
Okay, this last one's a little mundane, but who knows? On the couch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just quick.
Yeah.
Just stand on the couch and bend over and have a quickie.
Jeez, yeah, I'm all for that.
Okay. Well, then I think this is one list that did not get
It didn't.
ripped to shreds.
No, I agreed with every one of those.
Okay. All right.
And now I got a few things I want to try.
Yeah, I gave you I know what Eric's getting a phone call or a text immediately following the tape. of the day. That's funny. This is kind of interesting, guys. Last couple subjects, and really they're kind of big ones, and they're funny on the surface, but then they go into some kind of deep sociological stuff.
Okay.
So Colleen found one, and I found one. Michael, I'm pretty sure you were around on one of the shows that we talked about this. Denmark, Do It for Denmark. Their birth rates have been falling particularly in Europe for years. And some of these countries are trying to figure out ways to get people to get busy so that they can get more Swedish people, more Danish people, more, whatever. And lately, Spain has just popped up with I'm not kidding you, a sex czar. And she's kind of a hot blonde, and her name is in there, but they're just saying, we've got to do something. And this is a woman named Edelmira Barrera, and she is supposed to she's a demographic expert. So I have no idea what insight she's going to have about getting people motivated to reproduce, but she's got an actual government job there. And seriously, Spain really, their birth rate has fallen 18% since 2008. So that's almost a fifth.
Right.
That's pretty
Wow.
big.
That is.
Yeah.
But let me just ask one quick question of you guys. Remember I remember this in the 70s and 80s a lot. There was a whole big thing about, let's slow the population. Like, there's too many humans, whatever. Is this a big deal? Like, the lower birth rates? Like, what do you guys think about that?
I guess if it's a whole country, they're having issues. We're obviously not having issues here. I don't think.
See, what my thing is, why they feel it's an issue. Because from their fact, I do believe that the planet is getting overpopulated.
It is.
You stop and look at it, how many, farmlands do we actually have now? Why are we having all these different chemicals to feed people? Why we can feed, if we're getting that overpopulated that we have to start doing this stuff, then there's something going wrong, period.
Yeah, well, and there's some countries like Japan right now, you guys. I mean, the percentage of their population that is elderly, their concern is that they're not going to have enough people to sustain, the country, the workings of the country, because everybody, like, let's use, a parallel example here. If 2/3 of the country is retired and on Social Security, we don't have enough people to work to keep feeding it. How do we take care of everybody? So I think that might be, somewhat a part of this, but I just think this is fascinating. So listen to this. So Sweden too, they took this a little bit further. There's a local official. So this is in a municipality. He's literally put in a real, for God's sake, proposal that's going to get voted on to give city employees, or municipal in this case, an hour-long paid break, 1 hour per week to go home and have sex.
Cool.
For the same reason. For the hopes of...
I think that might help. As long as you have a partner. What happens if you're single?
Well, and then do the single people feel cheesed if they don't get that hour because they don't have anybody to go fuck?
Well, then they can take that sperm to the sperm bank and
there you
donate
go.
there.
But, yeah, but once again, it's like, I'm all weird because I worked at companies I don't have children. I'm childless by choice. And I worked at, in broadcasting at companies that did all these insane things and when I say insane, I mean like separate Christmas parties where they bought expensive gifts for people's kids to come and have a Christmas party. And I'm like, they're getting something I'm not getting, and I'm like, that's just, why are you doing that? And by the way, you just laid off 3 people. Maybe could we have skipped this party and kept that person on for another month or 2?
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, I think it gets really strange when you start, sort of segregating that way. But this is a completely serious story.
And did you say they get paid to go home and have
it's
sex?
like a paid hour off. So it's like you get to go home and have sex, and it's counted as.
And is there any regulations? So if your spouse does not get pregnant within a month, do you get to lose this benefit or not? And you just keep going home and having sex, and hopefully for the best.
It doesn't say that it accumulates like fuck time accumulates like vacation.
Can I roll
time.
over my fuck time?
It does not say this here.
I'd
because
like to take 2 hours next week.
Yeah,
I'm just not in the mood this week.
Does that include lunchtime?
Right, you get a lunch too, right? Because you get hungry after.
See, I mean, it's just there's so many HR concerns with this.
is.
I just don't know, guys.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on this one.
I know. So, but anyway, it's very interesting though that these countries, and who knows? I mean, like you said, Perry, there's been for a long time quite a bit of concern about overpopulation. And then if Colleen were here, she has an adopted child. When you think about this, it's like, well, there's lots of kids that really need homes. Well, why don't you import some?
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's what Colleen did.
I can understand that.
I don't know.
There's
Okay.
a lot of people that need to be adopted.
Yeah. So, and 2 of my best friends are adopted. So they're big fans of the whole process.
I've got 2 adopted daughters.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Because I remember I did not catch the fact that they were adopted. I know that you were married years ago, and I didn't know. But what made you choose to adopt?
They've been with me for a while, and it's like, we're family now.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Awesome.
And Colleen went through unbelievable hoops as an unmarried single female.
Yes.
And she's got a wonderful child is she driving yet?
Yes, she's actually learning to drive now, so I think she's still training in that. So I know you can tell Clean is a little stressed out because she must have had a driving lesson the day before. I think she's getting better because I still get to see updates on her driving abilities, and they're getting better. She's getting a lot better.
Is she getting better?
She is getting better. Yes.
I'll confess something because I grew up in Southern California, which is not exactly an easy place to learn how to drive,
Right.
with the traffics. And I mean, we were in the middle of we had the 405 freeway and the 5 freeway right by my house.
Right.
And the city streets were 8 lanes,
Oh.
So consequently, I was not ready literally when I was 16 to get my license. And my mom made me wait till I was 17. And quite honestly, I was okay with it because I was terrified. I'm like, yeah, I need to practice more.
Freeways freaked me out. Freeways. When I went to driving school, they wanted to do on a freeway. I'm like, you're crazy. I'd rather drive downtown Minneapolis on a freeway.
Yeah.
And that's all I take now is freeways. I'm like, la, la, la.
Oh, I know. Isn't that funny? It is so funny. So, guys, it's been such a long time since I've had boys in the room here at the Great Northern Sex Cast. We've had a couple guests, but it's been a really long time. And Michael, any thoughts? Anything that's gone on in the last